Look around your perfectly climate-controlled gym. You probably think pushing weight on a padded machine is making you tough. It's not. Bioarchaeologists just shattered our illusion of modern physical supremacy. When they pulled 10th century Viking remains from the freezing earth, they uncovered a terrifying biological truth. Their skeletal structures are so brutally dense, and their muscle attachment points so thick, that today's elite athletes look completely fragile in comparison. Grinding out 3 sets of 10 is a biological trap. It builds aesthetic muscle for the mirror but leaves our underlying framework dangerously unprepared for real-world trauma. We aren't building strength, we are simply masking our true physical vulnerability. Today, we are going to reverse engineer the ice and blood routine and reveal the one brutal daily habit that 99% of modern athletes actively avoid. Modern fitness has trapped us in a perfectly symmetrical bubble. We obsess over visible abs, repeating the exact same predictable movements day after day. But without true environmental friction, our bodies are secretly decaying. While your muscles grow, your nervous system becomes dormant. Your connective tissues slowly rot from a lack of chaotic stimulus. This is why you can push heavy weight on a rubber floor, yet inexplicably blow out your back picking up a simple cardboard box. You have chronic joint pain and endless plateaus because you lack true structural integrity. Having a powerful-looking physique is entirely useless if the biological framework underneath it is ready to snap. Eventually, every modern athlete hits a breaking point. You step outside, face an unpredictable physical task, and you are completely gassed in minutes. It's humiliating. We have built bodies designed strictly for display, entirely abandoning the capacity for survival. The proof of this isn't found in ancient myth, it is written directly into their bones. Excavated Norse femurs show an extreme level of robusticity. This is undeniable biomechanical evidence of a lifetime spent absorbing intense, unpredictable kinetic forces. The Vikings didn't have a training split. Their terrifying physiology was the direct result of unrelenting labor hauling timber, rowing heavy ships, and surviving brutal winters punctured by sudden, violent survival tactics on the battlefield. This extreme transformation is driven by Wolff's Law and Davis's Law. These scientific principles dictate that bone and soft tissue will literally remodel themselves, growing denser in direct response to mechanical load. Their unyielding strength wasn't a genetic accident. It was a calculated biological adaptation to extreme stress. Imagine a frigid North Atlantic voyage. The freezing spray of the ocean wasn't a trendy biohack, it was a brutal, inescapable reality. This chronic exposure to extreme cold triggered a massive physiological shift. As they shivered for hours, surging norepinephrine forced their bodies to convert standard white fat into brown adipose tissue. This metabolically active brown fat functioned as a cellular furnace, generating intense heat while building a legendary immune system. This was a hidden vascular workout. The constant constriction and dilation of blood vessels' weight trained their circulatory systems, forging an extreme metabolic resilience that modern humans desperately lack. But cold exposure alone doesn't build a conqueror. Modern barbells are perfectly balanced and predictable. Viking life was the exact opposite, chaotic and highly asymmetrical. They swung heavy axes, hauled awkward timber, and braced heavy shields on one side while violently striking with the other. This taps into the secret of asymmetrical loading. Carrying a heavy, uneven object on just one side forces your deep core and fascial slings to fire at absolute maximum capacity. You aren't just lifting a weight, you are fighting intense rotational forces just to keep your spine from snapping. You can see this today in Iceland with the legendary 409-pound Husafell stone. Lifting this front-loaded boulder builds a raw, brute strength that a symmetrical bench press simply cannot replicate. Modern fitness treats every breathless, high-intensity workout like a badge of honor. But for building unshakable endurance, this constant redlining is just junk volume. The Vikings built a massive aerobic engine through the ultimate mastery of Zone 2 cardio. A 12-hour-long ship journey wasn't a sprint. By staying strictly aerobic for hours, they stimulated massive mitochondrial biogenesis within their cells, maintaining a grueling pace without ever redlining their hearts. This acted as a rapid recovery switch. During explosive, high heart rate combat, their bodies could clear lactic acid almost instantly. While enemies fatigued, the Viking physiology recovered in real time. You cannot power this machine on modern calories. They didn't rely on the empty, inflammatory calories of a dirty bulk. Their diet was hyper-nutrient dense. To combat systemic inflammation, they consumed enormous quantities of cold water fish, flooding their biology with high-quality omega-3s. They fortified this with fermented foods like skyr, cultivating an iron-clad gut microbiome for maximum nutrient absorption and immunity. And they wasted nothing. Through true nose-to-tail eating, consuming organ meats, bone marrow, and thick connective tissues, they fed their biology the exact structural amino acids needed to rebuild their own shattered joints and torn tendons. You don't need to move to Scandinavia to forge this physical armor. Trigger the exact same biological adaptation tomorrow by ending your daily shower with 2 to 3 minutes of freezing cold water. Next, introduce chaos. Swap one perfectly balanced barbell day for an awkward implement day. Pick up heavy sandbags and perform single-arm suitcase deadlifts. Build a bulletproof, anti-rotational core. To build the engine, slow down. Dedicate 30 to 45 minutes twice a week to strict low-intensity steady-state rowing. Resist the urge to sprint. Finally, upgrade your fuel. Shift from empty macros to crucial micronutrients, fatty fish for inflammation, bone broth for collagen, and fermented dairy for gut health. Actively feed your structural integrity. We have built a modern world that prioritizes aesthetics over utility, obsessing over mirror muscles while avoiding any real physical friction. The Viking body wasn't sculpted for display, it was forged entirely for survival. By trading true capability for the illusion of comfort, our bodies are paying a devastating hidden price. You don't need to be an ancient raider to start training like a warrior. Step out of the sterile gym, reintroduce targeted friction into your life, and start training to become undeniably hard to kill.